And welcome to a quick episode of Trek Canon, bootleg edition. So there's this episode in Star Trek, the original series, right, that people fall into one of two categories. Either they're people who haven't seen anything about this episode, or people who have seen this episode think, man, it's not really a strong episode of Star Trek, the original series. But then you have the very small few people like me who understand the significance of this particular episode. And that episode is entitled The Empath. See, there's a few things going on in this episode. Quick basic rundown is that basically the Enterprise rose up on this planet, basically where one of their facilities used to be, where the sun is going supernova, and they come across this whole little lab down there where they got some people from the facility that they was going to try to get. They inside these like little cylinders things, man, and they not in the best conditions. Actually, they kind of deceased. Anyway, Spock, Bones, and of course Kirk is on this away mission, man. They run across this lady named Jim. She's a mute. She doesn't say much. Look, let me tell you something. First of all, the actress who played Jim, her movements, her body language was just top notch. Anyway, the thing going on with Jim is Star Trek's best and most purest empath. She is so strong as an empath, and when I say she, her species is so strong as empaths is they not only can take on your emotions and what you're feeling, but they can even take on the physical pain of what you're feeling and transfer your wounds to them. Now, see, the thing about this episode is that you have this advanced civilization that is basically trying to figure out if Jim's species is worth saving. They can't, they can only save a few people, but, they like, hey, listen, we thinking about saving this species, man, but if they not worth it, man, if they don't exhibit certain traits, then, we would be doing the galaxy a disservice by saving these people, and then later on, because they don't have these particular traits, going to end up being very bad for the galaxy. Anyway, so they end up putting Jim through all these different experiments and everything using Kirk, Bones, and Spock, right, to try to figure out, if Jim's species is worth saving. Now, another thing that's great in Star Trek canon is that this episode is the greatest representation of the saying of the good of the many outweighs the needs of the few or the one. This is the prime example, I believe, of that particular theme. Now, another thing that we cover in this particular episode is the people who were looking to be the saviors of Jim's species through these experiments end up actually becoming the bad guys themselves, and how they end up realizing that, hey, through these experiments, are we the ones that's actually being a detriment to the galaxy? Like, this is such a great episode with a lot of themes that were touched on. And if you haven't seen the original series episode, The Empath, I highly suggest you check it out.